wanted to take action in the Ice Out Friday, to send the message.
Thousands left work in school today. Their message to ICE, get out. Part of a nationwide shutdown. What it looked like here. Snow moves back in tonight and temperatures drop hard when it finally lets up.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at 9.
Nice to have you with us tonight. Hope you're staying warm. I'm Terrence Lee. Let's start with this live look outside. Some people are getting hammered. Others are just watching the snow on TV. Meteorologist Mark Strell has your first forecast. Hey, Mark, what are we looking at tonight?
We are looking at more lake effect snow. This lake effect snow, which has been coming down the lake, has sprayed much of Chicago, at least briefly at times throughout the afternoon, but now focusing more on the South Shore neighborhoods and eventually into northwestern Indiana overnight tonight. And that is why this little pink area here for much of Cook County, central and southern Cook County, that is a winter storm warning. That is in effect until midnight tonight. Two other areas that include the pink areas as well. That is northwest Indiana. That includes Lake County in Indiana and Porter County. Those areas, winter storm warnings in effect until 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So you can see the focus of that snow is going to continue to be spraying down the lake as we go through the overnight hours. You can see by these pictures here in Chicago, things are pretty quiet, at least along the lakefront. But look at this little area of winds that have been really kind of aligning right over the lake and then heading right over just between Gary and the Illinois state line. Now take a look at this. I would have you look at the dark blue areas here that are kind of in the center of the light blue areas. That's where the lake effect snow is tonight, and it continues to bend down further towards northwest Indiana. I'll give you a further update, tell you what's in store for us the rest of the weekend coming up.
All right, we'll see you then. The plaza filled up despite the cold for a nationwide shutdown over immigration enforcement. Leslie Moreno talked to people out there.
Hundreds of people gathered here at Daly Plaza for National Shutdown Day, a protest against ICE and federal immigration enforcement across the country.
Nobody is illegal. Say it once and say it twice. Say it once and say it twice.
Despite the cold, hundreds showed up to stand in solidarity for National Shutdown Day, including this mother of two who brought her two daughters.
We wanted to take action in the Ice Out Friday, to send the message that there's a measurable number of people that are against the funding of ICE, the brutality in the streets, and the violence to both citizens and people that are in the process of naturalization.
Protests against ICE and immigration enforcements that have been happening in cities all across the country. Most recently in Minneapolis, where two U.S. citizens were shot and killed by federal agents.
It's not only in Minneapolis, it's everywhere, and it's unlawful when you have unmasked people with no IDs, no badges, just scooping people off the street.
The demonstration taking place in cities across the country today.
This is our movement. They can't take it away from us.
Many people also skipping school, work, and shopping to disrupt daily routines and economic activity as another form of protest.
People being persecuted for their identities, being taken away from their homes, people having to hide out, relying on their neighbors and their communities to help get groceries or the services they need, right? Or just skipping doctor's appointments because you don't know if an ICE agent or a CBP agent might be right there to take you from your family, right? And so that's something that feels really visceral to me.
The hope with this protest is to show resistance and convince the Trump administration to stop sending federal agents to Chicago and cities across the country. In the Loop, Leslie Moreno, Fox, Chicago.
Well, police just charged a man with sexually assaulting a woman in an elevator at the Jackson Red Line station. His name is Curtis Porter. He's 29. So last Tuesday, this woman gets in the elevator and police say Porter followed her in and attacked her. They caught him the next day at the Roosevelt station. He's facing 2 felonies now. Police also say he's got 15 other charges going back to 2014. And this man just got sentenced to 65 years in prison for a murder in Chinatown. A jury found Alfonso Joyner guilty back in October. Almost 4 years ago, Wam Sing Si was walking to get a newspaper when Joyner shot him 26 times. Prosecutors said they never figured out why. They called it a random act of violence. Harvey City Council meets Monday night to pick a new mayor after Christopher Clark died. The city announced his death this morning. Clark was a father and grandfather. Sources say he had been in and out of the hospital for the last 6 weeks. The city hasn't said what he died from. He ran Harvey since 2019. 6 alderpersons will choose someone to serve out the rest of his term, and that's about 2 more years. Several elected officials put out statements, many calling Clark a devoted public servant and a dear friend, including Dalton Mayor Jason House. He said Clark's life of service should keep inspiring people who choose public leadership.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
We lost someone who made the holidays a little brighter for a lot of us. Catherine O'Hara died. She was 71. If you grew up watching Home Alone, you knew her. She was the mom. And that scene where she and the family's running through the airport trying to get back to Kevin, they filmed that right here. O'Hara posted a tribute to her today with the caption, "Thank you, Catherine O'Hara, forever our legendary Mrs. McAllister." Well, AI is changing how we live, and now it is changing how doctors treat you. Casey Cronus went to Rush, where they're doing a study that could change how doctors catch problems in your stomach and intestines.
Doctors at Rush are pairing immersive technology with patient care. It's part of a clinical trial here in the GI department, but could expand to hospitals across the nation.
Very interesting. What I can do with this, as I said, I can size it. I can move it from side to side.
At Rush University Medical Center, Dr. Irving Waxman is showing us how Apple Vision Pro goggles are on track to improve how doctors see and spot colon cancer. In partnership with Cosmo MedTech AI, based in Italy, the hospital launched a clinical study earlier this month, exploring whether the technology could aid doctors as they perform colonoscopies and endoscopies. Instead of a doctor turning away from the patient, the goggles will project what's on nearby screens right before their eyes.
What I'm seeing is really what you were seeing on the monitors, the endoscopic image, except I have the visual field enlarged in front of me. So I'm actually bringing that picture in a very high definition level almost into my physical space. And that is really very, very exciting.
The system is powered by GI Genius, and Dr. Waxman says AI is on its way to becoming a crucial tool in cancer detection. The green squares that are popping up, those are identifying polyps, and Waxman says they're serving as an extra set of eyes. In the U.S., colorectal cancer is the 3rd leading cause of cancer-related deaths in men and the 4th in women. Waxman says if approved, it's only the beginning for technology like this.
15 patients took part in the initial clinical trial. Next, the findings will be shared with the FDA for review before additional trials take place. Reporting at Rush, Casey Cronus, Fox Chicago.
Well, another busy weekend for snow removal companies. We dig into the numbers to see how much snow we've actually gotten compared to years past. And a partial government shutdown looks likely. What local lawmakers are saying about it tonight. Oh boy, the government is about to shut down again. It starts this weekend. We're talking hours from now. The Senate passed a funding bill. The House gets it next. They are out until Monday, though. Democrats in both chambers say they will not back the Homeland Security funding unless Congress reforms ICE. Senator Tammy Duckworth explained why Democrats want those changes. She tweeted this afternoon, Democrats are demanding 3 very reasonable safeguards to protect the American people. Get Border Patrol out of our cities, independent investigations, no mask, and more body cams. The government just dropped more Jeffrey Epstein files, 3 million pages, over 2,000 videos, 180,000 images. The Justice Department says this follows the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Congress passed that law back in November. The files mention President Trump thousands of times. Elon Musk shows up too. Officials say no one got special treatment. Well, snow removal companies are gearing up for yet another busy weekend. One owner says this is just an average Chicago winter. Brett Bagansky looked at the numbers on snow and salt.
They're shoveling, plowing, and scraping.
We just got to make sure the patrons, don't slip and fall. Our motto is clearing the path to follow.
Bob Slikowski has been in the snow and ice removal business for snow systems since 1990. His crews have been averaging between 15 and 20 sites a day, and this weekend could be another busy one.
It's going to be touch and go through here through the evening, and then it'll give us a little break.
Not much of a break after more winter storms and last weekend's sub-zero temperatures. When does it get to become dangerous for your crew?
When it gets super dangerous is when you get your wind chills down below 20, negative 20.
How would you describe this winter when it comes to the snow removal business?
A good average winter.
But are we really having an average Chicago winter? So I checked the National Weather Service when it comes to the snow totals for this time in the season. So for January 30th, we're averaging for the city of Chicago right around 20 inches of snow. Right now, we're already at more than 28 inches of snow for the season. And when it comes to the temperature, we're trending below average. Slitkowski did describe the last 2 winters.
On the thin side.
But speaking of thin,
when it gets to this, unfortunately, everyone's out of salt.
Winter storms are hitting other parts of the country, which caused a nationwide salt shortage.
What factored into depleting our salt was those other markets. Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, they were pulling salt out of Chicago.
They're now paying more than double than what they usually pay.
We have to be careful how much salt we put down. You got to use the quantities you have. It does impact us a little bit, but we do have supplies on hand.
As we close January and get ready for what February brings us, Slitkowski is urging you to always stay aware, especially when you're walking on unshoveled sidewalks.
Walk like a penguin. Don't slip and fall on the ice.
Brett Bagansky, Fox Chicago.
Yeah, you can make that look cool, a little penguin walk. All right, we're looking outside on this penultimate day of January. Mark Bob just said there that this is just an average Chicago winter. Are we buying that? Do you agree?
We have had some winters that really have been pretty light and less filling over the last, not so cold, not very much snow.
Yeah.
So, he mentioned that we're in the upper 20s in terms of snowfall. We should be around 20, but that's because we had some heavy snowfall around Thanksgiving.
We did.
You know what? Maybe we'll be able to cruise through the rest of the winter without any more
Let's
heavy
Let's
snowfall,
hope.
right? All right, we have had the cold, too. That's what makes it feel, like we've been below normal, and right now we are below zero, at least when it comes to the wind chills. -3 at O'Hare, -4 at Rockford, 3 degrees below zero, the feels like temperature in DeKalb. And Aurora, you're at 6 degrees below zero this hour. Visibility, well, we always like to check and see where it's narrow, and that shows us where most of the snow is coming down right now, and it's on the bottom end of the lake. I'll show you that coming up in just a moment. Here's good news. National Weather Service has taken down the winter storm warning for Cook County. We are now under a winter weather advisory. Winter storm warnings continue now for the south end of the lake, and that suggests that the snow threat now is moving down the lake away from the city of Chicago and more towards northwest Indiana, just as we've been forecasting. Here's the latest live power Doppler weather radar, and you see that blast of snow coming down the lake, now heading to the very south end of the lake and continuing on its trek right down Interstate 65. So if you're southbound on 65, yeah, you'll have some issues here, not only tonight, but tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon. And here's what we could see. This is tomorrow morning. Before this system winds down, it looks like it's going to snap back to Chicago. That's why we could have a secondary round of some snowfall before it trickles away and dries up. And that's what we'll keep an eye on for tomorrow morning to see if that does kind of flex back here into Chicago. So at the moment, we're pretty quiet. Visibilities are good here. It's also cold here, 12 degrees at the moment. Northwest winds at 13 miles per hour makes it feel like 3 degrees below zero right now. Those wind chills are going to remain below zero overnight tonight and continue into the early morning hours. Snowfall continuing to shoot down the lake. All of the lake effect snow belts are fired up tonight, bringing downwind lake snows, although we get the bulk of it out of the entire region, the exception being Marquette, Michigan. They're getting heavy snowfall tonight, as they usually do in this setup. Wind chills are cold. They're going to stay cold overnight tonight. Tomorrow we're 25, 27 with a peak of sunshine on Sunday, and we should hit 30 by Monday. So the lake effect snow belts continue. Meanwhile, in the south and southeast, some heavy snowfall, that snowfall across the Virginias, the Carolinas. Oftentimes they get snow in the higher elevations there in the southeast, but in this particular case, that snow is going to go all the way to the ocean's edge. So we're not the only ones experiencing cold winter weather. 9 overnight tonight. Tomorrow, look for daytime high temperatures up to 25, still some snow showers, and we'll keep an eye on that lake effect snow snapping back our way. Then temperatures after that look halfway decent, especially compared to where we have been. Temperatures in the upper 20s and low 30s.
I'll take half decent. I mean, I like full decent, but we'll take half decency. Thank you, Mark. Well, look at this. This will warm you up. Dozens of police officers in Cicero were honored today. They all met up at the Cicero Community Center this morning. The ceremony was for big things the department did this past year. Police superintendent gave out over 80 awards to officers and staff who went above and beyond. He said what they do every day makes a big difference in our community.
Today's ceremony's purpose is very simple and meaningful: to honor those who have gone above and beyond the call of duty. Whether it's courage displayed in a dangerous situation, consistent dedication to doing the job the right way, or actions that make our community safer, today's honorees represent the very best of our department.
Each officer received a certificate to mark the milestone. Parts of D.C. are turning into a racetrack this summer. President Trump signed an executive order to bring an IndyCar race to the nation's capital for America's 250th birthday. They're calling it Freedom 250.
It's rare in year one that you feel like you have a 5-star staff, and yet that's what I believe. I see future head coaches on this staff. I see future coordinators. I see these young coaches being future position coaches. I see that all across the board. I know we already have some slips coming through that other teams would like to interview some of our guys, and I'm all for it, man. I want these guys to continue to ascend.
Well, the Bears had a really good year in 2025, right? Way better than most thought they do. Ben Johnson knew other teams would come for his coaches. Declan Doyle just left. He was the Bears' offensive coordinator, and he just took the same job with the Baltimore Ravens. He's only 29. He was key to what Johnson was building here. ESPN says he can leave because he'll call plays in Baltimore. Jesse Minters, the new head coach there. This happened a week after the running backs coach left. He went to the Chiefs as offensive coordinator.
For the win here at US Bank Stadium. Snap is back, hold is good, sweeps the right leg, Cairo Santos is up, it's good! Good! Good from 48!
And that was just one of Cairo Santos' clutch kicks this season. The Bears just named their special teams player of the year. By the way, he's the most accurate kicker in franchise history. More Bears talk with Clay Harbor on Chicago Sports tonight. Plus, meet two local guys blowing up online for turning everything into a bet, even our show. That's right after the news.
It's a little chillier than I thought. I just didn't, it's fine. I'm not complaining. I am not complaining.
You're complaining.
Oh, I'm mic'd up right now, by the way. So I just...
Ever wonder what the Bears players were saying on the field this season? Well, now you can find out. The team Put it up on YouTube, all the best moments from players mic'd up. Baseball season is coming up fast. You know, everybody waits to see what giveaways they're doing. Well, the White Sox just dropped their promo schedule. Jerseys, bobbleheads of the 2005 World Series team, and jackets. They're doing it all this year. Lou Holtz is entering hospice care. He's a legendary Notre Dame head coach. Someone close to the family confirmed it. He's 89. He coached Notre Dame from 1986 to 1996. He led them to a perfect 12-0 season and the national championship in 1988. North Coast just dropped their festival lineup. The big names coming to Chicago this September. Plus, what inspired the Boss to write, record, and release a new song in just 3 days? Come on back. Bye.